We have gathered here today to celebrate all that Audrey was, her individuality, her character, her abilities, and the strengths that Audrey possessed as she sought to live a good and purposeful life. Today you will hear how she spent her time, where her interests lie, and how her life played out along the way. The time we spend in this chapel is all about being human and expressing the many mixed emotions and responses that you will feel as you share in the memories of Audrey. Tears, smiles, laughs, and many hugs will get you through this day and many days to follow. It was once written that those we love don't go away. They walk beside us every day, unseen, unheard, but always near, still missed, but very dear. Although Audrey is no longer a part of your physical life, the many happy moments she shared with you will be a comfort to you in the days to come. I would like to now read to you the eulogy that Audrey's daughter Diane has so lovingly written, and I thank Diane. It's an honour for me to read the following words. Audrey Ella Glover was born in the small town of Sheffield in Tasmania on the 25th of July 1927. After World War II in 1946, three school friends, Audrey, Betty and Edna, left for the mainland from Tasmania to Melbourne. The three girls boarded in Collins Street and enjoyed working and having fun in the big city. Diane got her middle name after Audrey's best friend Betty, and she continued to be friends with Edna until she passed away. Audrey met Frank, a returned soldier. They fell in love and married and had a short honeymoon in Healesville. Then they moved in with Frank's mother and family. They continued to live in Richmond, where Audrey and Frank had two children, Diane and Brian. Each Christmas the family would go to Tasmania for holidays. Two of Audrey's sisters, Yvonne and Marie, spent their time living with Audrey in Richmond, where they all worked at the Bryant May Match Factory. Diane proudly told her friends that her mother Audrey was the redhead on the front of the matchbox. When Diane was 8 years old, the family moved to Blackburn, where the social life continued with friends from Richmond and the new friends in Blackburn. Saturday nights were party nights full of fun, dancing and games. On Sundays, after the children finished Sunday school, Audrey, Frank, Diane and Brian would visit at friends' houses and play darts and quoits. It was a wonderful lifestyle. They all enjoyed it. Audrey was a social butterfly, concentrating on her friends and family more than hobbies. And Audrey loved to dance, and she had a very charismatic personality. Diane was with Audrey when she was learning to drive and got stuck on the tram tracks in High Street and held up the tram because Audrey insisted on moving the car herself because she was learning to drive, even though Diane insisted on taking over. She eventually got her licence and continued driving. At one stage, when Audrey's licence was printed incorrectly and showed her 10 years younger, and she hadn't informed the authorities, she used it many times of proof of age. But when Diane and Brian went to the hotel to meet their mother where she worked as a barmaid, Audrey's work colleagues were shocked to see she had two grown-up children. She was caught out. After enjoying this status for 10 years and having to renew her licence, the authorities were not amused. She avoided a fine using her charisma once more. Having lost Frank back in 1996 when Audrey was 69, she was fortunate enough after that to meet Ollie, who had also lost his wife. They met at a carers group whilst both their partners were unwell. After their partners passed away, Audrey and Ollie joined Legacy and enjoyed many trips away, mainly travelling to Mildura, where the hotel manager would drive them across the border into New South Wales so Audrey could play the pokies. Ollie affectionately called her the red-headed terrier. Ollie had a son in Queensland. After their partners passed away, they became great friends, and it was a wonderful companion for both of them until Ollie passed away. Audrey was delighted when Brian married Shirley, who gave her two grandsons, Justin and Matthew. Matthew and Nikki gave her two great-grandchildren, Kayla and Danielle. The last few years for Audrey remained a shock after losing her son Brian at such an early age. After Audrey lost Ollie, she was in a car accident. Not her fault, but it damaged her leg, which eventually she lost use of and had to go into a nursing home. Mary, Ollie's daughter, has remained a good friend and helped care for Audrey, taking her on outings and to her podiatrist. Also Helga, her carer, took good care of her and was a comfort and a good friend. Audrey praised Helga often, saying how well they got on together. In closing, as everyone will know, Audrey loved going out and playing the pokies. This is also from Diane. To my dear mother, you outlasted many. A good innings, love. You will be missed. Still think you could have made it another week. Hope they've got pokies. Look out for the red-headed terrier. Love you, Mum, Diane. Thank you, Diane, for that. I'd like to continue with this eulogy and thank Shirley for her help in putting this together. Thanks, Shirley, you've been fantastic. Throughout their lives, Audrey and Frank had many moves. They ran a milk bar business in Richmond for a time before moving to Glen Waverley. There was a time when Audrey worked as a nurse's aide and, as Diane had said, as a barmaid in Richmond. The bar was located near Channel 9 and Audrey got to meet many celebrities, including Bert Newton, who popped in for lunch most days. As a very sociable person, this job suited her down to the ground. Being blessed to have a wonderful relationship with her two grandchildren, Audrey and Frank got to spend much time with Justin and Matthew. The boys had many sleepovers with Nanna and Poppy at Tenby Point near Coronella, especially on the school holidays. At the holiday house, Frank and Audrey taught them how to play cards, and they both grew up knowing how to play all of the old card games, including 21. Later in this service, we will hear from Matthew as he speaks more about the happy times with Nanny and Poppy. Audrey loved having her grandchildren, later on great-grandchildren, around her. The family was everything to her, and she still called her adult children kids, sometimes beginning her sentences with "you kids," meaning Brian, Diane and Shirley. They were always her kids. During Frank's illness, they moved from regional Victoria to Cranbourne, where Audrey nursed her ailing husband. When Frank passed away at the age of 73, she was devastated. As Diane said in her eulogy, Audrey was fortunate to have met Ollie, who made her happy. Ollie and Audrey lived in their separate homes but enjoyed being together. They visited Diane in Queensland, and as Brian and Shirley owned a holiday house in Coronella, Ollie and Audrey frequently enjoyed spending time there together. Being the social person that she was, Audrey was involved with Legacy, Provis and the RSL. She spent much time with her many friends there, joining in on the dances and the dinners, and as Diane also said, she loved to have a flutter on those pokies. She kept herself busy, regularly frequenting the Sunday markets, and loved to pop into the local op shops during the week, looking for some bargains. Although she was never one for hobbies, Audrey did read quite a few books, of many different styles, with most topics suiting her taste. She was a regular listener to 3AW, tuning in to Philip Brady and Neil Mitchell. Talkback radio kept her entertained. She liked watching Home and Away and many of the old-style movies, especially the black and white ones. Audrey was always well-groomed, never leaving the house without her lipstick on. Even when she was in hospital or the nursing home, her lipstick must be worn. Audrey was living in Cranbourne when Ollie became too ill to remain in his own home. He was placed in an aged care facility and she was always there visiting Ollie, keeping him company. She very much missed him after his passing. Yeah. It was in 2013 when Audrey herself moved into the Langford Grange aged care facility, remaining there for 8 years before her passing. When Audrey first arrived at Langford, she took a little time to settle in, but soon joined in with the social outings and with the group, especially enjoying the merry melodies. She also looked forward to the many visits and outings with Brian, Shirley and family, and especially the birthday celebrations. Audrey has lived a long and happy life. She would have seen many changes along the way, watched her family grow and dear ones pass away. She did many things in her life and learned many things, but the one thing that she could never learn, and that was how to say the word pizza correctly. Audrey would always pronounce it pizza. Good on you, Audrey. Audrey has left a loving legacy that will never be forgotten. And there's so much more that can be said about her, and so I would like to now invite grandson Matthew along with his wife Nikki, to pay tribute to her. Please come forward. You can take it off. All right, we wanted to start by saying hi, Di, wherever you are, over there probably. Would you like me to start?
If you like.
I was first introduced to Nanna by pure accident. Matt decided to take me on my first trip to Coronella to his dad's house, and I didn't think to his dad's holiday house, and didn't think anyone would be there. Little did I know where we would be going or who would be there. When we opened up the door, we didn't expect to find Nanna and Ollie in the living room drinking a glass of wine in front of the fire watching a movie together. They were both so happy to see us and to meet me. But we did feel a little awkward, like we just interrupted something. So we didn't want to outstay our welcome and declined many glasses of wine and sandwiches Nanna offered to make for us. Nanna used to love holding the garage sales for Legacy. I remember her inviting us down for one because she would often have a barbecue afterwards. She would often gift us things at the end. I remember this day so clearly. Nanna gifted me my own Christmas present Matt and I purchased for her the Christmas previous, which was a vase with some fake flowers in it. She said it would mean so much for me if you would have this. I picked it out just for you. Matt came out of nowhere saying underneath his breath, just take it. Just say thank you, just take it, take it. So from then on, I learnt Nanna was a chronic regifter. So I choose my gifts very carefully from then on, with lots of personalised items and scratchies. Before Nanna's car accident, which stopped her from walking, Nanna would come over every Tuesday to see her great-granddaughters and drop off a bag of veggies, so we didn't have to go out. Nanna often thought of others before herself. Nanna and I always had a special bond. I didn't know if it was because we were both Cancerians, with our birthdays only being a week apart. But I always loved celebrating our birthdays together, and Nanna would always proudly take me around the table to make sure everyone knew her granddaughter Nikki. Now I have to learn to celebrate my birthday alone. It won't be the same without you, Nanna. We love and miss you, Nanna.
Hello. This is okay. I might have to do the hand thing again. I can remember a long way back going to Nanna and Pop's house and always having fun getting spoiled, which was nice, if Nanna knew it or not. There was always a peppermint slice in the cabinet, chocolate in the fridge, and hard candy on the coffee table, which had 15 or so women's weeklies holding it up. But Nan did teach myself and my brother some life skills, like blackjack and poker. Before long, we left with our pockets full of change. I was rich, I thought. I brought mixed lollies for days from the milk bar. She took Justin and I out many times to go to the flicks, allowed us to pick anything on the menu at Macca's or wherever else, as long as we didn't tell our parents, so I didn't say a thing. As we grew up, Nanna always was there, especially when Justin and I moved to Cranbourne. She would drop in for a quick visit to say hi or drop off some groceries, fresh or a little bit decaying. Anyhow, I said thank you. As time moves on, Nanna met Ollie, a wonderful quirky chap who always had a smile and a funny joke to tell. Never shy, bagpipes and all, his love of Guinness and home brew. Nanna and Ollie had many happy days together. Every other weekend, they had a barbecue or party with friends and family. They also enjoyed long trips to Coronella, travelling and even went dancing. Nanna lived through so many eras, from gramophone to electric cars, some of the saddest and best times in history to be lived. But Nanna to me was loving, caring and unique in her ways. We'll forever share our beautiful red locks, and you will always be remembered with love. Thank you, Nanna.
You may now come forward to sprinkle some rose petals over a coffin as you say a personal and private farewell. So if you'd like to come up one at a time, just put mine first. I'd like to read you a poem entitled The Afterglow. I'd like the memory of me to be a happy one. I'd like to leave an afterglow of smiles when life is done. I'd like to leave an echo whispering softly down the ways of happy times and laughing times and bright and sunny days. I'd like the tears of those who grieve to dry before the sun, of happy memories that I leave when life is done. Today, in this place of warmth and peacefulness, we let our hearts go where they need to go. Our minds think whatever they think, and with a generous spirit, honour Audrey's memory. Be grateful for the time you spent with Audrey and for the lessons she taught you. Recall the impact she had on you and all the people in her life. Hold on tight to your memories. Keep talking about her and saying her name, and most importantly, remember her with love as long as you live. We have now come to the end of this service, and Audrey's family would like you to just follow David for some refreshments. David will show you which way to go. So gather down in the function room to talk more about Audrey. May I please ask you to stand as we farewell Audrey. Audrey Allen, go forth from this world knowing that you are loved beyond measure, that you will be missed more than words can say, that you will be remembered and cherished, and that our love will never end. We will hold you close with us, and there you will remain. Audrey, you leave us with the strength and pride to do what is good and right. And your memory will guide us just as you did when you were at our side. For this we say thank you and goodbye. We love you, we miss you. May you forever rest in peace with the certain knowledge that you will always remain a part of our family circle for as long as you shall live.